Picture yourself at the edge of a high diving board. No matter how many times you've jumped off, you still feel those little butterflies before you take the leap. Why is it that no matter how many times we've done something before, we often feel that twinge of fear before jumping in? It's because fear is wired into who we are, but that doesn't mean it has to stop us from achieving our goals, because we choose a different path. And that is why the afraid don't get paid. I want to talk about problem-generating thoughts versus solution-generating thoughts and help you to better discern when you're in the problem phase versus the solution phase. Because the more you can be in the solution phase or very neutral, the better off you're going to be, right? And so just a quick backstory. I have been in business for about 3.5 years now. I started out as a life coach, and then I went into manifestation coaching and then mindset coaching. Then I became an accidental business coach because people loved what I did. And I was like, man, I can help people make money now. Okay, great. And then I niched down to DM sales, and that's still something that I really focus on. And now I am calling myself a transformational sales coach, right? So business strategist, sales coach at my heart is what I'm doing, right? I wanted to share that sort of background because I have made a lot of pivots. I've changed my programs, my niches, my offers, my business name, my page, my branding, everything. I've been through so much. And one of the most important things that I've ever experienced is what I'm about to talk about today. Being able to understand my own thoughts and emotions and to be able to discern when I am focused on creating problems, generating problems versus creating and generating solutions. Now, the funny thing is when it comes to generating problems or creating problems, one of the most frequent times coaches do this is when they're not making the money they desire, or their income is dipped, or a client blowout, something negative, right? They start creating problems. And now you may be thinking, Candace, well, that is a problem. I'm not making the money I want, or a client defaulted, or business is just not going how I want to. Of course, those are problems. I am not trying to disregard what you're going through or how you're experiencing, but rather help you to think about viewing it differently. Therefore, if you view it differently, you have different thoughts and feelings about it, and you will have different results, right? And so let's just take the example, making money. When you finally start building up your income, insert whatever number of where you're at, 3K, 5K, 10K, 50K, 20K, right? And then something dips, and maybe it dips only 1,000 or maybe 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 maybe it cuts in half. We freak out. I've been there, so I know this to be true. And oftentimes we start generating a lot of problems, and we have a spiral, a whole mindset spiral. So when it comes to income dropping, one of the things that we start thinking, it must be my strategy, right? So then we go find problems and create problems with the strategy, which leads us to trying another strategy. Maybe I'll do low ticket masterclasses. Maybe I'll tweak my offer and my messaging. Or maybe we think the problem is in our pricing, and maybe it's just been a lull and not that many sales have come in. So that's why your income has dropped, or some other things have happened in business, right? But we start trying to find the answer because that's what our brain does logically, right? But here's the problem. What if there isn't a problem that is so drastic that you need to completely start shifting things, but a very small tweak? Or what if shit just happens and it's more about how you feel about it rather than you needing to change anything? What if you just need to elevate your belief that the next month is going to be just fine and more clients will come and your income will go right back up? You're probably like, nah, Candace, something's wrong. But listen to me carefully. When you are not making the money you desire, I want you to ask yourself, what are your thoughts like? I bet you find a million problems, from your lead generation to your content marketing, to your messaging, to your confidence. But when you are making money, you're likely creative. you feel really good. You find solutions as opposed to looking at problems. When I say solutions, that sometimes kind of insinuates, well, there was a problem, so you needed a solution, but more focused on creative outcomes and elevating your life and business as opposed to, shoot, something's wrong. Scramble, frantic, panic, panic, panic. No faith in ourselves and our marketing and our messaging. And so we need to change it all, right? That rarely happens when things are going well. And so I want you to think about, could it be that your quote unquote, you can't see me, but I'm doing little air quotes, your worst months, your weakest points, quote unquote, aren't really the worst, aren't really that weak or that bad, and you're not a failure, but it's really how you start thinking about it. And because you then have certain thoughts, you start having bigger feelings. And when we feel a big way, when we got big feelings, big feelings, we're big mad. Oh my gosh, I'm extra. We start taking big unaligned actions. And from there, it's the spiral. And so have you ever felt like, man, it started off with one problem and now I have like 5 on my plate. And now I'm questioning my whole business or a part of my business, or I'm questioning my entire messaging. I'm questioning my entire positioning. I'm questioning my leadership capabilities. Instead of finding problems, find ways to be neutral or to have creative solutions. And so here's an example of where we start creating problems or making things a big deal. I just started sales calls again after 2.5 years almost. Well, I did one earlier this year, but that was like a chat/sales call. I don't even know what that was, but let's just say consistently, I haven't been doing sales calls in almost 2.5 years. I decided to get back on them. I missed them. I missed human connection after being in my DM selling high ticket programs. And it just felt so new. I'm like, man, I'm a newbie at this. And not in the sense of I don't know what I'm doing, but like just new, fresh. I just haven't done it. And one of my first sales calls, by the way, this client signed. So this is the funny story that I can tell. One of my first sales calls, the client asked me about testimonials. She's like, do you have testimonials or specific? I can't remember exactly how she said it, but basically she was asking about testimonials and specifically testimonials related to new entrepreneurs because she's new at being an entrepreneur. So she wanted to see how I help someone grow their business, elevate their life in a similar scenario as her. And I almost made this a big deal. And I know better being seasoned in sales and overcoming objections and just answering questions, not to make it a big deal. But I almost did. Of like, immediately the ego came in. Did she not read my sales pages? Did she not check my highlights? Did she not go to my website? Did she not Google me? Oh, she's not serious. She's not prepared. Because people who are serious or dream clients aren't asking that. And I wasn't saying all of this out loud, but this is how I was feeling. And after I did some self-coaching on it, I started to see these were some of my thoughts. I was kind of taken back. One, because I just haven't been on sales calls and I don't really get objections in the DMs anymore. If you want to learn how, join my programs, right? But this felt like a kind of an objection, right? And it's a question. Questions really are, or I should say, sometimes questions become objections. And so I was taken back. I felt annoyed, like, oh, here we go again. I have to answer this. And then, I was really about to make this a big deal. Well, clearly I was making it a big deal until I snapped out of it. But let me keep telling the story. I was like, she's not going to sign because I'm going to have to explain myself. And it's not going to be convincing because, this feels awkward and weird. And I'm just annoyed and I'm in a bad headspace now. And I don't even feel like I want to be bothered. And she's skeptical. That's why she's asking. She's skeptical. I knew it. I shouldn't have done X. I should have just stayed in my DMs. Why am I doing this? And I was like, whoa, we're creating problems. Those are problem generating thoughts. I want you to ask yourself, get quiet with yourself for a second. How many times have you been on a sales call or in the DMs and someone asks you a question that you may not like at this moment, this time in your life, and you start creating problems out of it and making assumptions? Again, this client signed with me. And so I thought, ooh, Candace, you can feel it. You're becoming a little icky around this. Calm down. Stop making it a big deal. Because I was also going to make it a really big deal and be like, oh my God, I need better clients who don't ask that. And you're just ready on the call. What am I doing wrong? Like my mind could go there because it's been there before. Why do I have these questions? This must be an indicator that they're not quote unquote dream clients. Rolls eyes, because that's going to be a whole nother conversation. And so I decided you have a choice. You can be in the solution generating state, in a neutral state, or you can be in a problem generating state. Which one do you want to choose, Candace? Because it doesn't have to be this hard. In an instant, 2 seconds, I shifted my energy. Now, all of this pretty much went through my head before I answered the question. And so that just shows you our minds are running a mile a minute. And sometimes it's so subconscious that we don't even know we're thinking all of those thoughts, but we just know we don't feel very good and we don't like the experience that we're having, right? And so I said, it's not a big deal. What if every person asked me this on the call and they still signed? Why am I making it a big deal? What if I just decided just to answer it, say my 2 cents? I don't need to over explain. And then what do I know to do? What does Candace know to do? Dig deeper and ask why she's really asking that. And so I answered it. And so quick little coaching tip for all of you who get this question. The way I answer it is by being honest. I don't need to over explain. I can say like, yeah, all my highlights in my page, right? You can just tell them where the content is. They're more than happy to go check. But in this instance, I even shared a story because I was like, man, I actually do have a really good story. Why not? And so solution oriented Candace was like, tell this story with conviction. Be really freaking proud of how you helped this client go from X to, Y, Z, right? That was a weird saying. To go from A to B. Who says X, Y, Z? To go from A to B, right? To get all these amazing results. And then ask her why she's really asking that. And so I told her the story. And then I said, typically when people ask this, because they want to see if it's possible for them. And there's still some questions or some doubts or some thoughts on their mind of like, is it possible for you to get the results, being who you are, where you're at in your business? Is that the case? Is something like that coming up for you? Again, very neutral, solution-oriented mindset, not petty Betty, no, not annoyed Annie, right? I'm making up stuff now. Not problem-generating Georgia, okay? But like solution-oriented Ophelia. Okay, yeah, I'm really going down with that alliteration of names. Right? And she was like, oh, you're right. I just feel, she loved the story, by the way, because I'm a great storyteller. But no, she felt there were still some doubts. And so I was like, let's talk about that. And this is also what I mean by overcoming objections on a deeper level, because I could have been like, I don't know, or I don't want to talk about that, or I could have gotten awkward, or I could have just answered it and moved on. But when people are asking these types of questions, it's indicative typically of something deeper, usually doubts, fears. 99% of the time, your client is wondering like, but can I do it? Can I do it now? Can I do it in these circumstances? Am I enough? Am I worthy? Is it possible? Do I have enough time? Right? And then because of that, if you don't overcome those things, then they're typically like, no, I'm not going to invest. But anyway, my point being with this amazing story I just told is that I could have made that a big deal. And then I could have been bitter the rest of the day. And maybe that if I didn't answer it in the way I did, she might not have signed. And you know what's so funny? I did another sales call today and I got the same exact question. And so I'm like, oh, we're back with these questions again, but we're not going to make it a big deal. Tell a powerful story. That person lit up. Now, as a sales coach, I strongly don't recommend you promise specific results unless you have curriculum built that is proven to get that result over and over and over, and you have a high success rate. But I personally am like, I can't tell you exactly how much you're going to make with my strategies. I just don't do that. I used to. There's nothing wrong with it, but don't just start promising something out of the sky, especially if you're in business or sales coaching and you don't have a proven formula for getting them those results, unless you're prepared to work with them or give them their money back, yada, 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 right? But I told the same story today, a powerful story of a client testimonial, basically a case study that was very similar to the potential client that I was on the call with. She wanted to hear it. I told her the story. And then I asked her the same question. Are there still some doubts? Right? And she signed too. And so that is a perfect example of creating problems or being solution oriented. The one last example I want to give, because this is a huge one, it's around generating leads / followers. So two different scenarios. When followers start going down, people love to create problems. A lot of my clients, I'm having to coach them through this, and they're having to do the deeper work on what is it that you're really worried about? Or if you're just so obsessed with followers, well, we got to fix that. But the example is you start losing followers. Oh, it's so easy to create problems. And just focus on it. Oh my gosh, that must mean my content's not working. People don't like me. My messaging's off. And so then, because that is a feeling, a thought, not a fact, and you haven't proven it, and you're focused on the wrong thing anyway, from there, you start taking big unaligned actions. Well, I need to do more. I need to post more. I need to shift something so that the followers go up, 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 up. A lot of people think that this is just a newbie problem, but I've worked with business owners making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K, 100K businesses, multiple six-figure businesses who are still obsessed with their following because deep down, they still feel like that is exactly what correlates to more money or some sort of validation, an obsession with likes, save, shares, and followers, right? And so from there, you can create all the problems, or you can be neutral, which is just like, it's not a big deal. Or if the thought does come up like, man, this is really bothering me, a more elevated creative approach. Hey, instead of worrying about followers, how about I just go connect with more people on a deeper level in a one-on-one conversation and let that be the driver of success instead of just thinking about the numbers? That's such a better solution that feels really powerful and you're in control of, as opposed to allowing the algorithm of social media to control you. And because you don't control it, you've never felt certain and safe, right? So do you want to be neutral, or do you want to be in a solution generation state, or do you want to create problems? Same thing with leads. This needs to be a whole nother conversation. Right now, if you feel like your problem is leads, I'm going to smack you. Spicy Candace is coming out. 99% of people's problems is not that they don't have enough leads. Unless you have 2 followers and you just started yesterday, I don't want to hear it. And even then you have leads. I can promise you. Come talk to me. If you're like, no way, I'll show you how you have leads. But most people, 5,000, 2,000, 1,000 followers, 10, 15, 20,000 followers still tell me, oh my God, I don't have enough leads. I need a new audience. And then from there, they create a lot of problems because they're operating out of a fallacy. They're operating off the wrong truth, the wrong reality that leads are the problem in their business. And this is going to be a whole nother podcast episode. And I'm going to dig into why. I'm going to show you the proof. I'm proof. My clients are proof. When you elevate your ability to sell and convert the people in your audience, as opposed to just bringing more people in, you will always earn. You will always earn. You will continue to earn. And in fact, you might have the same amount of followers and leads and still earn more. And you're like, how? We're doing a podcast episode on this. But my point is, when we feel like we don't have enough leads, we're like, oh my God, we're not going to make money. And so we create more problems. We find problems. Think about it. Saying, oh my God, I don't have enough leads. It must be my marketing. Let me go change it. You're creating a problem. How do you know that's the truth? And why do you decide that is the truth? Because it's not. It's just the reality that you're bending towards. Instead of the solution generating state and the more neutral state of like, what if I stop focusing so much on getting more visibility and trying to go viral and just grow? And what if I serve my current clients and they bring me more clients and referrals? Or I just convert a larger percentage of the ones I do now? Or I focused on being a better coach and getting coached at a higher level and raising my prices and embodying someone who can make a lot of money online and high ticket pricing. And from there, I make more money. Like, those are more solution generating thoughts, as opposed to, you know what? I'm screwed. No leads. Panic. Oh my God, I'm not going to make the amount of money I want, which also means, oh my God, I'm not going to be safe. I'm not going to be secure. I'm not going to have freedom. And from there, you are in a ocean of problems. And so you get to decide, do you want to be neutral and or in solution state or problem state? And this is one of the biggest concepts that I'm helping my clients with. And this is really about working on our mindset, but also working on how we value ourselves and how we love ourselves and how we get to decide how we run our businesses in a more powerful way. I know you guys, and for the people who are like, man, this is me. I need this podcast episode. I'm in total problem generating state. It's exhausting because you never feel like things are working, or just when they are, something else comes up, right? It's a cycle, and it's a trap. It's a trap. And then you're always like, more money, more money, more money. And I'm not saying we don't want to make more money and that it's not possible. But then it's like when we're not, more problems. And it's just literally like you're eating a pie of problems. Just cut another slice, serve another slice, shove your mouth with problems. And it's not sustainable. And this is why people burn out. This is why they resent their business. This is why when they're making money, they say, I'm not fulfilled. Something's off. Life doesn't feel great. Another indicator you probably have a lot of problem generating thoughts is like you can't turn off from your business. You're tired or like exhausted and you still can't stop looking at your social media, checking your email, doing this. Because you're attached to something, you're creating the problems, and there's deeper things that we have to work on. And this is why my one-on-one private coaching goes really deep, because we are focused on elevating not only your life and how you experience being alive on this planet, but also your business, hence the elevated life and business, right? And from the business component, it's looking within and doing the internal work, and that being then the driver of your success. Then we can focus on the strategies, because the strategies are always going to be there. But everything I'm talking about now, our identity, our self-concept, the deeper mindset work, working on the spirals, working on the toxic thoughts and the comparison, all of that has to be healed, and we have to elevate and step deeper into who we need to be and who we want to be to earn at the next level. That's the real work. And that's why I'm committed to doing that with my clients. And so if you want to learn more about working with me, again, if you find me on Instagram, simply fill out the application. The link is in the bio. It's also on my website. I'm committed to helping coaches earn massive amounts of money, stupid money. But first we do the deeper work, or not even first, together we do the deeper work. And so my coaching is very holistic, right? We focus on mindset strategy. We focus on elevating your emotional intelligence, understanding your own motives and desires and others. We helping you sharpen. I say we. I'm like, who's we? Me. I'm the coach here. Candace, you're the coach. I help you with your embodiment work and your self-confidence around running a business, charging high ticket prices, coaching at a higher level, being coached at a higher level. This is what we do so that you can be in a state where you are elevating because of the thoughts. Your thoughts are elevated. Your feelings are elevated. Then your actions are elevated. You get elevated results, and then your reality is consistently being elevated. And from there, you can be the powerful, vibrant coach that you desire to be, where nothing stands in your way. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to tag me on social media. Everything will be in the show notes. And don't forget to leave a review. And when you're ready, go ahead and visit me at www.candacechatman.com/workwithme to learn more about my private one-on-one mentorship, where I teach coaches how to make selling more effective, efficient, and fun.